and so you guys can see. But here's what I want to do. I want you guys to look at this, and I want you to see in your minds. Obviously, you guys see that I bought NZDJPY, but here's what I want to do. I want to see if you guys can identify why I bought. Okay, hold on. Let me let um let me text somebody in the group that needs to get on. Check the group chat. Okay, so I can continue to maneuver what I'm doing. All right. So obviously, you guys can see that I ended up taking a buy, but I want you guys to see why this is something, why I did this, and what this actually is. So if we look at price, you can obviously see prices there, but when you see this is off the daily chart, right? Now there's different factors, there's different things as to why I would even want to take a buy off this. But if we were to do this from this, let's look at something. I'm going to start this from the beginning. This is going to be a great recording for anyone who is new to intermediate to be able to see this, to go over these kind of things. Now you can look at this price and see, like, it's been a while since it's been at this high, right? It's been a minute since it's been at this high. So, oh my lord, I gotta turn this off. Hold on. I'm using my mom's hotspot, so my mom, they stay out here in the middle of nowhere, so I have no internet, no good internet. That was what you just heard, a notification on her phone. Anyway, so when you look at this, when you see this, you can see that prices, over here, but what is the purpose of buying at this level? What is the point of buying at this point? Okay. So when we look at specific things, whenever we see specific things, what we're looking for is we're looking to understand where buyers and sellers are. Now, when we mark stuff up, what I want to be able to see is where the most recent sellers and buyers are. Now, how we do that though is it shows us based off of a peak and a valley system. That's where it shows us that, okay? So when we see this, we can see that so like this, obviously you see the market drop really hard. Right here you can see the market rose. Here you can see there's sellers. Here you can see there's buyers. The way you can tell these things are that every time the market gets to this point right here, what does it do? It drops. Every time the market gets to this point, what does it do? It goes up. Now there's only going to be a point in time whenever the market stops going up or stops going down at those levels. Same thing here. You can see that the market came all the way up here and it dropped, So what I want to talk about in today's session is understanding that trading is about consistency over time, and it's not about looking for one specific pair or stock or anything that's going to make you all the money in the world or whatever. If you're truly coming in to be a professional, then what you understand is consistency over time. This is what you understand. Being able to see these things, the power of compounding is what's going to make you most of your money in trading. I know everybody has FOMO on all the cryptocurrencies, and I see you guys talk about it all the time in the group, and everybody wants to make all this money off of all these different coins. But like I was telling certain people in the group that had hit me up and that have been with me, I said, well, what about USD CAD, or what about USD JPY or gold? What about these pairs that in the last 6 weeks we've done between 100 to 200% ROI, whenever a Bitcoin hasn't even went up 200% ROI in the last 6 weeks. These pairs haven't went up the equivalence of what we've made off of these other currency pairs. And it's not that they're not good investments or anything like that. It's that you have to understand it's about your entry exit strategy. It's about whenever you're getting into the market, whenever you're trading, that when you're doing specific things, you understand about your entry exit strategy. So when certain things go on in the market, there's always going to be something going up a lot or going down a lot and things happening, right? But it's like when you see like days like today in the cryptocurrency markets and you see those big drops and you see those big drops and big rises, big drops and big rises, the people like us that don't have the ability to move the market, that's times whenever big traders are taking profit and they're liquidating positions. And it's times when the market is whipping back and forth and doing the certain things, that need to happen in the market as far as correction goes. Those are not the times whenever you guys should step into the market and trade. You have to be disciplined. You have to be patient whenever you're trading, whenever you're getting into the market. Those are not going to be the times where you guys are going to maximize your money. Those are going to be the times whenever you want to sit back and not even mess with it and not even have to look at it, pay attention to it, worry about it, any of those things, because that's a part of what the market is going to have to do as far as correction goes. But when you talk about this, let's look at this and break this down to where we can understand where we can always get 30%, where we can always look to get 60%, 100% on trades. It doesn't have to just be NZDJPY. It doesn't have to just be Bitcoin. It doesn't have to be gold. It doesn't have to be Euro USD. It can be any pair at anytime the market is qualified to take a trade. Okay, so when these things happen, when these things come up, we have to pay attention to these things. We have to listen. The market is always telling us a story, guys. It always is. So when you see price right here, what I'm looking for is I'm looking to identify where buyers and sellers are. Now, how this is you can see it based upon where price has currently rose or dropped at. So right here, for instance, is an example of sellers hit, they drop the market. The sellers touch it again, they drop the market. So here's the thing. If price ever gets back here, what is most likely going to happen to the market if it gets back to there? It'll most likely drop. Doesn't mean it will. It just is a possibility. Remember, trading is about probabilities. So if it is at a zone, if there's a place where you see buyers, what you have to do is you have to go look at your 3-to-1 risk to reward calculator and see, oh, does this set up for my 3-to-1? Does this set up for the, and if it does, then it's most likely going to be a trade that you should take. Doesn't mean, and you have to also stay away from over trading. That was my biggest thing in 2020 was once I stopped over trading, once I stopped letting my ego rule me, once I stopped letting greed rule me, I started taking my account up into huge ROI percentage moves. But it wasn't until I dropped, my ego and I just said, hey, it doesn't matter about the money that I have in my account or the money, that I owe people or however this was whenever it was going through my mind. If I'm ever going to go to, a 7 to 8 to 9 figure to 10 figure range where I know I can be, then I have to let these things go. It's going to be the same thing with a lot of you guys. You're going to have to let a lot of things go. So understanding that probabilities is very key in this. So you see this is what this is. That's where price drops at. So price is here though. So this isn't necessarily something that we're going to worry so much about, but it's about developing the eyes that you can see this here. Okay. So that's a level, but not necessarily something that we're going to worry about. Now, there's other things, as far as like this goes. This is where diagonal buyers are. See that right there? This is a place where diagonal buyers get. So you can see buyers hit there, they swing over to here, they go up, and you can see buyers come over at this level and then they go up. Remember, everything is not going to be perfect on the market every single time. That's just not how it works. You just have to understand that those of you guys who are like myself that love everything to be exactly perfect, look really good, and look like it should be like this perfect every single time, it's not always going to be like that. You're going to have to learn how to shift your paradigm in the market and understand it's not always going to be perfect all the time. And that's literally simply just fine that it's not going to be that way. That's a diagonal zone. So let's go over and look at this now. So here's another zone right here. This is where sellers are, and you see that they hit there too. And do you see how right here, if you were to draw this line right there, do you see how at this level right here, sellers get engaged pretty much every time until, guess what, they don't. So it's important that you see these things, that you recognize these things, because what it does is it allows you to see where current buyers and sellers are. And so whenever I look at this, whenever I see this level, when I see these things, this is important, right? You can see the same thing on a diagonal buying zone. You can pretty much see the same thing through here. If you were to draw this pretty much through here. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just giving you, a quick illustration of what this looks like. So you can see this right here, boom, there. And this is where sellers are, and this is where buyers are. Now, what this tells me, what this shows me, is this is pretty much a consolidation zone right here, okay? Consolidation can happen on any time frame, guys. It doesn't matter. It can happen on the monthly just like it can happen on the minute chart. It doesn't matter. Consolidations are things that I love to look for because what it tells me is that a breakout is going to eventually happen. I don't know which way it's going to go. I just know that that's what it's telling me. It's just showing, oh, hey, this is a selling zone. This is a buying zone, and either price is going to break out up through or price is going to break out down through. It's kind of like what Euro USD did on Friday to Sunday to today, and we'll go over that trade also, and we'll look at that because I want to make sure that we go over these things and you guys, really start to see these examples. You start to see these. These are live. It's not like I'm going back and giving you guys my best trades I had or anything. I'm just showing you guys like how it actually looks in the market whenever it's actually happening. So here's where it is right now. Now notice, you see how our price is right here, and diagonally wise, there's not really any other place to like line up the market. And then horizontally, we're not going to go all the way back here because there's too much stuff going on with price right here. We need to be kind of closer to where the relevant price is. But do you see how like there was a resistance here, price is up here now. There was a support there, there was a support there, there was a support there. Price is up there now. Over here is not necessarily such a big deal. Price through here. So right now we're kind of in a zone where there's nothing. That's good. That's fine. You're going to shift price down. So you're going to go down to the smaller time frames. So whenever like the strategy that's on Visual Prowess right now that has the Fibonacci strategy and everything, fibs only work whenever there is a trend. So you can, so with trends, you can do the marriages and find the zones what could be, but what I'm showing you right now is what's actually happening. So this is something that is very effective in the market to find what's going on right now. So if you see this, this is where price is. Now what we're going to do, like right here, this is a great time to use a fib because look, see how price is shooting up and see how it's having a pullback right there, so you can see where the high is and you can see where the low is. This is like a good time to be able to use like a fib zone right here. This is a good, let me make sure that I got this right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is a good time to be able to use a fib zone through here, right here. You can see like the zone, you can see the 127, you can see the 161, you can see all these things through here. This is a good time to be able to use the fib zone. So of course, obviously I pay attention to this 127, but I'm looking at a couple of different things that's also going on. So I'm gonna delete this real quick. Now, you look and pay attention to where buyers are, immediate buyers are. So pretty much buyers are like through here, right? You guys can see that. This is pretty much where, immediate buyers are in this zone. This is where they are right through here. If you look at this, right through there, this is where buyers are. Now, that's the weekly chart. There's not really anything else that you can essentially go to on this zone. I mean, this is a selling zone. This is a selling zone. You can pretty much, this is okay. I mean, this isn't like, this would not be bad to do this. This is not a bad thing to do. Here to here to here, these aren't bad things to do, because as you can see, sellers come in, it drops. You can see sellers come in, it drops. And then you can see at this level right here, sellers try to engage at that point. This is pretty much a good zone too, but you can see buyers are here. You can see buyers are here. What we're going to do is we're going to shrink the time frame again. We're going to shrink it down. So you can see buyers, they get engaged there. Buyers, they get engaged there. Buyers, they get engaged there. Now, I'm going to come back over and you're going to see where the new buyers are. So what you have is you have sellers through here. This is pretty much the selling zone. This is all the selling zone right there. But this is where current market price is. We're more worried about where current market price is. That's what I'm most concerned with, is where current market price is right here. Okay, so these are sellers. All that is good. We don't necessarily need that right now. And then what I'm going to do is see where this is where buyers are here off this zone. See, current buyers were engaged there, current buyers were engaged there, and then this is where price is at. So for me, what I'm looking at is pretty much like right through here. This is pretty much my zone. This is one zone right here. That's one zone. So this is a buying zone here. This is a buying zone here. Now what I'm doing is I'm getting closer and closer to where current market price is. Now, what you can do, what you can see is, as you see, there's buyers here, there's buyers there, and then this is where the zone is at right here. This is what I'm looking at. So for me, here's my zone, and as you see, this is the zone right here. So when you see this right here, this is what I'm paying attention to. I'm looking at price here. I'm seeing this at this level here. And this is the zone right through here. And whenever you look at this, this is the 3-to-1 zone. Just want you guys to see how this works as you scale down price. There's the zone there. This is the buying zone there. That's the stop loss at that zone right there. There's the zone through there. This is the 3-to-1, and here's the next move here. This is the next level right there. That's the point. And so for me, when I come over here, I can see a zone. I can see where buyers are. I can see at this point right here. It's pretty much just around where I bought at 74,650, somewhere around there. And you can see what price is doing off of this zone through here, as you see. So this zone is the zone that I'm paying attention to. This zone right here is where buyers are getting engaged, and my stop loss would be down here. Now, here's two important things. So this is my buy zone number 1. I don't know if price is going to respect it. I never know. I never know if price is truly going to respect it. I just know what price tells me, what the market tells me, and all I do is I just listen to what the market tells me. So when I see this right here, when I see traders getting engaged off of these lines, when I see them coming in and getting in off of these points, when I see all these different things, let me scroll down to 15 minutes. When I see all these different things, all I'm doing is I'm looking for, let me zoom this in. All I'm doing is I'm looking for things like this, bottoms. I see bottoms, I'm like, okay, cool. I see bottoms right there off the zone right there. See, the same thing comes in over here. Bottoms, these are bottoms. This is a bottom there, this is a bottom there, this is a bottom there. Those are bottoms. Same thing that goes on here. These are bottoms right here. All these things are bottoms. You come over here as well. You shift this thing over right here. These are bottoms. All these are bottoms. You can see where buyers get engaged at. All I'm looking for is to see where traders are building up positions, and I pay attention to where buyers are at. So if you look at this right here, this is a retest to me right here. This is the retest of a trend for me right here. This is the retest of a trend. So if you look at this, see the same thing. Look, this is a retest of a trend. See this right here. Pull this over like this, and you guys can clearly see this. There are sellers that were here. Price breaks it. Price pulls back to the selling zone, and what does it do? It retests it, and it goes up. There are sellers there. This is a stronger selling zone than this one is, but there's sellers there. Price comes up. Price pulls back. Price goes and retests it. So, as you see, I buy at that zone. Now, understanding that a stronger buying zone, more off the weekly and the bigger daily chart right here, this is a little bit stronger of a buying zone right here. These are things that I know. These are things that I see. But right now, what I see, it may not ever go down to that point. I don't know. I for sure see that the buyers are here, and guess what I see? The market's right there. Yeah, it could go down lower. It could go down to that point, but I don't know. I'll know more once I have more candlestick confirmations to just sit there. So if you see that there is like hours of candlesticks that set here, hours of candlesticks. So we pretty much got like 12 hours of candlesticks sitting right there. That's enough for me. When I see that, I'm like, oh, okay, where's my valid stop loss at? It's just going to go right below these lines, right below the points. You see where, see how the price never hits that red right there, but if I buy right there, it doesn't hit the red, but it goes up to the green. See how if I do the same thing over here, see this here? I do the same exact thing. I buy off this line right here, never hits the red, goes up and hits the green. That's it. So when I come over here, this is what I'm looking at. So I bought a little bit higher though. I bought it at 67 or 60 whatever. But this is where it came in at, and as you see, this is my stop loss. So when price shows me this over here, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So like when you guys were, if you guys were to look at like, I don't know, if you see like this red candle right here, I don't really worry about that. That doesn't worry me. I don't get worried if I see that because I know where my stop loss is. If price comes down here, that's a great spot for you guys to buy. Maybe some of you guys that are more advanced seen it and were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's an easy buy. I explained it more. That's something I didn't give it out in the signal. I'm not always going to give signals out all the time. I gave 2 signals out last week. So I don't want you guys to just be relying upon them. I want to be able to explain things, and I want you guys to thoroughly be able to understand. But as you see, this is live. This is actually happening, right? This is where the zone is at right here. And so I see this and I pay attention to these things. This is a real trade that could potentially happen. And if you look at this, those of you guys who are good or understand reversal candlesticks, look, as you see, you got reversal candlesticks happening there. You got a hammer happening there. You have an inverted hammer happening there. You have all these different reversal candlesticks that are happening right now off the 4 hour. But you don't want to get in off of a green candle like this when price is like all the way up here, because it's actually happening right now in front of your face. Right now, it's actually happening now. This is the time to buy, not when price is going up, not when Bitcoin's at $40,000, not when it's at $42,000. Okay, it's at getting in whenever the market is telling you where buyers are actually setting up at. And so, and identifying other buy and sell zones. So I'm not going to buy somewhere in here because it goes lower. No, I'm not going to do that. The next place I would buy if I like it is going to be off this white line right here. I'm not going to buy anywhere else unless it comes right here and it sets up. Why? Because when price comes there, it goes up. So when price comes here, it goes up. So for me, I'm like, okay, cool. So if you come down a little bit lower, okay, it might stop me out. But I'm following what the market tells me here. I'm listening to it. And it's saying, oh, this works right here. It doesn't have to work this time. It may not work this time. But I know the thing, my strategy is going to win over time. My edge. I have an edge in the market. I know my edge is going to make me win over time. If I lose now, that's cool. But my edge is gonna help me win over time. I was up whatever. I was up 5,000. I'm probably I'm up 1,200 now. So as you see, the money, it's not something that I'm chasing. It's understanding that once the market gets at certain levels, once it gets at specific points, that's where I take my trade. And if it comes down and stops me out, okay, cool. I lose my 10%. I move on. I'll find a new trade. Last week I was up probably. Oh no, I didn't get the gold trades in last week. I was only up 11,000. That was on EU, so I didn't actually get those trades in. But these are the things that when these things happen, we have to actually engage in them. We can't be fearful of the market. But I wanted to explain this to you guys and show you guys. This is a trade setup. This is something that I currently took, and this is something that I like that follows a strategy that follows where buyers are. This is still an uptrend. This is not an uptrend. Let me show you guys this. Or this is not a downtrend until this line right here gets broken. This line has to get broken. Why? Because price never crossed under this white line. Do you understand that for this to be a downtrend, for this thing to start going down, it has to do this? It has to do like that. Something like that, and hook under this line, then go down. It has to do something like that. If not, it just does this. This is all it does. Here, okay, cool, we're there. Here, okay, cool, we're there. And then boom, we go up again. That's what price looks like. That's like an uptrend. That's how that works. So being able to see those things, being able to identify those things are going to pay you guys major. Now, the next thing I want to do is go up on Euro USD, because I know some of you guys kept that in and whatnot. And this is fine. This is a trade that I was okay with, taking out over the weekend because I didn't want to deal with anything. But it's doing exactly what I was talking about, that it would have the ability to do, which is why I'm not biased. I'm not biased on trades or anything like that. I just let the market tell me what it's doing, and then I just pay attention to it. And I told you guys Thursday that we were either looking for the market to stay in consolidation and then shoot up here, or we're looking for the price to break out. Which this is the trade that we did. We did, let's see, we got in at 450. I think what we got in like right here at 3 or something like that. And then this was the trade. Let's see, we did a, we did a 30 pip stop loss. Yeah, we did 30 pip stop loss. So let's look at this. We got in, think we got in. Yeah, oh yeah, this is the one that almost got stopped out. So we got in at like 4 something, and it was like really close to getting stopped out. And it went up, what is this? So I think we got in maybe a little lower, because it went up like 1.5 to 1. So this is like 1.3. And this is the zone in which we got in at. And as you see, it got really close to hitting our stop loss. Came up, we put the trade at break even. That's what happens. And then once you put the trade at break even, then obviously you move your stop and profit. And then the next trade that we had was at 122.050. That one was a 50 pip stop loss. Because why we did that, so this is irrelevant now. And so you guys are 1-to-1 in profit right now, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys are 1-to-1 in profit as we speak. Those who kept that trade in, like I said, it's something I even called out as something that I liked, but I'm just not going to hold the trade over the weekend because of everything going on. That's just me. I don't want to lose any extra money than that I have to. We put the stop loss up here because what we're looking for is if price hits our order and spikes up, right? Because it did hit our order, and see how it would have came up. So let's look at this. So price would have hit our order here. This was over the weekend. Came up. We don't do a 30 pip stop loss again because we want to. No, we have to look at where structure is in price. So I put this stop loss higher, so that if the market decides to come down, hit our order, it doesn't come up and wick us out right here. It's got to come all the way up here and take us out, which means that it has to go back in where the sellers are really strong at. So I trust in the market, and I let the market tell me, oh, okay, it may not go all the way up there. So when we get our order in here, and it comes up, and then now you see price starting to shoot to the downside. So this trade, when we look at this and we see these things, this was the setup. But here's what's going on with the market. Price is choosing to now, look what it's choosing to do, shoot down, okay? It's choosing now to shoot down lower and lower. The next major, so one buying zone might be like right here-ish, right here. But the next major buying zone is like right there. So let's look at this, what this looks like, because I put this, yeah, this is the daily buying zone. And if you see, you're already 1-to-1 in profit. So if you see, this zone right here is going to, oh, I'm not doing that. Let me delete someone here. So you're already, let's see, if it goes down to this buying zone, you guys are going to be 2.71 in profit. But for it to go all the way down to that zone, it's gonna hit 4.3 to 1. It's gonna hit over 4 to 1. But right now, this should be the trade that you guys should move in profit. This is gonna be the trade that you guys need to move 1-to-1. And remember, the trade I gave out, this trade is a trade that I seen going down to where I put the TP at. So for those of you who kept it in, this is a good trade. This is not a bad trade or anything like that. This is a very, very good trade that can drop all the way down here. It might take, some days or maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know. You know, something crazy could happen in the euro, and all of a sudden this thing just shoots down, hits your TP, and drops down 6 to 1. I don't know. You know, I don't know every single thing that's going to happen. I can just see what the buildup of price is doing, what the market is telling me, and then all we do is we just simply react off of the market. That's it. So whenever we do this, that's all we're doing is we're just reacting. But right now, what's going on is the breakout is going on right now in Euro USD. And if it chooses to continue to have the breakout, we're going to see price break out. And this is going to be a zone right here at 1.200550. And then most likely we'll see price start to find a support right around here at 1.19, probably like 800 to 900, somewhere down there. But why would we see it find support there? Because every time price gets right here at this level, it tends to go up. And if you notice, this is pretty easy to see also, it would come back and pretty much retest a breakout zone right in here. See that? That's most likely what it's going to come back and retest. See the zone that it would come back and retest? So this is what you guys pretty much have to look forward to on this trade, is pretty much coming somewhere down into that zone right there. So this is a very good, that's a very good setup. It's a very good trade. But that's pretty much all the stuff that I wanted to go over on the session, and the things that I wanted to talk about. So if anybody has questions, or if anybody has anything, you know, now's the time. Now's the time to ask while I eat my soup.
We do have a question.
What's up, bro?
So, if you're not sure about which way the market's gonna go, like if you're not sure if it's gonna go down or up, then would you do like both a buy position and a sell position?
You kind of asking because of the Euro USD trade.
Yeah.
So I never really know. I never really know when the market's going to go up, when the market's going to go down. I just have a feeling of what the market is telling me. So if you look at Euro USD,
Mm-hmm.
so if you look at this, I'm going to delete this real quick. So if you see that Euro has been consolidating in a zone, then
I see that.
all you have to do is just figure out, okay, if this is where it's been consolidating at, then I need to put a trade in based off of where this thing has been consolidating at. Is this something that, if I look at this, if I go in and put a trade in here, would this work to that? Yes, it would. If I do the same thing over to here, if I go put a buy in, does it hit it? No. Does it go up to there? Yes. And you just look at that and see, like the euro trade that we did, we buy it here because the market shows us that every time it reaches this zone, it hits it and goes 3 to 1. So it's in a daily and a 4-hour buy zone. That's plenty of volume. And as you notice, price got really close to hitting our stop loss. It didn't. And then as you see, it went up. It went up 1 to 1. Say that trade would not have went up 1 to 1. Say it would have went almost 1 to 1. Well, we lose the trade. We lose the trade. But now this trade, right? This trade, what we're doing is we're seeing this, and Money Man, this is a trade very similar to what you showed me last December. I think it was on NZD JPY or NZD CAD or Chef or something like this. This is an example of you buy whenever price shows you that it's a 3 to 1 buying zone, and if it's in a major consolidation zone, you're not biased to it only going up. So what you're doing is you're looking and saying, okay, every time price consolidates, it's either going to stay in consolidation or it's going to break out of consolidation. Which way, we don't really know. Price is going to tell us. Right now, price is telling us that it is going down and breaking out to the downside. So the only time you really buy and sell a pair is if you're buying instant executing like this, and then you're sell stopping the low because you want to catch the breakout to the downside if it happens. And watch this. You buy here, say this move, because this is what would happen. Instead of it going this way, like this, all the way down there and dropping 100 pips, it would go up the equivalence of that 100 pips to the upside. And guess what? You hit your 3 to 1. But what happens if the market chooses to break out to the upside? Well, you hit your 3 to 1 on one position. But what happens if it decides to go up like 200 pips? Well, now all of a sudden, your TP gets hit, but now all of a sudden you're up an additional 30% off of the next move because you listened to what the market told you right here to buy. You listened to it. It didn't want to go down. It decided to go up. So you bought it. And then guess what? Boom, there goes price all the way to the upside. And it breaks out to the upside. So guess what you do? Because I would do this. I would do this all day long if I seen this. I'd just literally put a buy stop right there. I'd come in. I'd put a stop loss about right there. And then that'd be my next trade. That's how I would do that right there. So I'd buy here. I'd buy there. But here is what I would do if price got to this resistance right here. I'm just going to sell it because I'm not biased to what the market is going to do. I'm going to sell it because price tells me that I need to sell it there. Because why? If I go over here and I look at the same equivalence to this over here, what is price telling me every time it gets to that line right there? It comes up, it goes to that point, it goes to that level, and goes down 3 to 1. You comes up here, you do the same thing, it goes down 3 to 1. It does the same thing. So, Tim, when I see this, the same thing I'm going to do. It's the same exact thing that I'm going to do. That's this. So, but this is how you do this, because here's what's going to happen. You're going to have a buy-in. It's going to hit your 3 to 1. But you're going to have another position that stays in to catch this breakout to the upside if it happens. So you buy it, you sell it, you hit your 3 to 1 there, you sell it, because what can easily happen is instead of price going up, what it does is it goes here, it comes up, okay, boom, it goes up, hits our 3 to 1, boom. But what does it do? It comes back down again. And what would you do if it hits the line right there? You're going to buy. That thing can go on for infinity. That's why I be trying to tell you guys. It can go on for infinity. It does the same thing. And all it does is it just stays in this consolidation range until it doesn't. And it shoots down and drops like that. But in this example, in this example of this, let me get this thing deleted. I'm trying to delete this damn thing, but it doesn't want to delete. In this example, right here, it decides to go down. So it decides to do the drop right here, and it could drop all the way down there. I don't know. I'm just saying that's just a drop. So this doesn't matter up here because it's not there. This doesn't matter here. The only thing that mattered is that it was a buy right there, and we take the buy because buyers are there. That's it. We take the buy because buyers were there. And then we sell stop it because we don't know if price is going to keep dropping or not. It's the same thing as if price, if you guys couldn't see this and price did this here, and we happen to see Euro USD right here last week, it's the same thing. We're going to click this thing here. We're going to pull it down. We're going to look at our well, we're not going to do it right off that zone. We're going to do it more based off of that high and this high over here. But we're going to look at that and we're going to say, oh, okay, yeah, that's a qualified trade. You're going to sell it, and then the same thing's going to happen. Like I told you guys on the webinar last week, I was going to buy stop it, or I was going to sell stop it. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to just flip it, and you're going to put a buy stop there like that. And this is all you're going to do. This is the only difference that you're going to do. You're going to sell it immediately. Then you're going to buy stop it outside of the stop loss. You're going to buy stop it because you're expecting the opposite of what it did right there. You're expecting a breakout. Does that make sense, Tim?
Yeah, it's starting to make a lot of sense. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is literally like how you would do that. Like it doesn't matter. Like consolidation is the easiest thing to trade because it literally shows you where buyers are and sellers are. And then all you have to do is just listen to what it tells you. Take the buy, take the sell, and then don't be biased to only catching a buy if you're buying, and don't be biased to only catching a sell if you're selling. Understand that the market can go up at any time, it can go down at any time, and it's every single moment is going to be a unique moment. Those of you guys who asked me for book suggestions and I gave you those book suggestions, you're going to read the first book I gave you. It's going to give you a lot of insight to yourself. Then once you get to the second book is a trading book, but I want you to read the first book that I said first for a reason. Then once you get to the second book, your mind is really going to expand a lot because it's going to really go deep into trading. Because the dude that wrote the book, he's on another level with things. So I really like him. I teach more like how he does, but I didn't know it until I read the book because the first time I read the book was like a year and a half ago. So, I thought that was pretty cool. It's not a strategy. It doesn't teach strategy. It just teaches psychology, like what I'm really big on. But yeah, anybody have any other questions? But you're good, Tim,
Can
right?
you go over CAD JPY?
Yep. Caddy. Caddy
What'd
JPY.
you call me? Uh,
No, I was just
I thought you called me daddy, bro. I was like, what?
Hmm.
Hey, but I'll take that. I'll take that 1% though. I'll take that 1% though. Still.
on on the J
Voice it.
on the Jap
Yeah, it's not ready yet. I'm still talking about that buy stop or when it comes down to the that support on the daily.
on EU.
No, CAD JPY.
Oh,
I didn't know if you would buy it on the, yeah, you see where
yeah. This was the yeah. We were talking about the buy
that's
on
yeah,
the
I didn't know if you would just leave the buy stop in if it was safer and if this pair looks more if it looks more bearish to you than bullish.
yeah. I mean, it's on that it's still on that sell zone, so it may not be uh piped up and ready to fly up 87,000 pips, but it's still there. It still hasn't broken the buy zone. I'd say a really good indication of where this thing is going to go is if it breaks this support to the down. If it breaks this support to the downside, then it's going to go sell zone, sell zone, sell zone. Then it's going to go just like this. It's going to go basically, okay, supposed to be uptrend, supposed to break out, didn't. It's going to come like this. And if it does, for sure, I'll sell the farm on this. If it does that right there, that's an easy sell. That's an easy sell. But if it doesn't, this is your line right here for a buy all day.
So hey, so if it touches that support, you would still buy it even with the ugliness of that right now. Like how there's not as much room on that resistance. You know what I'm saying?
I would put, yeah, I'm just looking
If
at it.
it
See, 50 pips should be safe. No, yeah, it's a safe trade. Um, this is pretty much the zone. That's the zone. There's the buyers right there. Yeah, I mean, there it goes 3-1 there. With 50 pips, it goes 3-1. Even there, it got really close to going 3-1. It's just going to be tight. It's getting really tight. It's waiting. Something is happening in this pair. Like it's waiting on something because it's consolidating right here now.
so would you just wait for the buy stop then to be safer, or would you
Buy
still
stop
take the
is
buy?
really safe. Buy stop is really safe. If you were gonna sell stop it, a sell stop right below this zone is gonna be pretty solid. That's gonna be pretty solid right there. I mean,
All right.
just looking at it, I can see that.
It's starting to build up like a little consolidation a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, that's a good zone that, like I said, I really like that area. I like that level. Um, it looks good off that point for sure. I mean, like I said, I really like that. But that NZD, what was that? But that NZ, wait, what? Reload. What is this? Charlie, I was changed. But no, that NZDJPY trade is a good one. I mean, I know you're in that. That's a I mean, that's probably the most qualified trade that I see in the market off of anything right now. It's really nice. That 4 hour candle closes in 2 minutes also, so and it looks pretty good. That hour candle, if any of you guys, I don't know if any of you guys seen it, but it came down to that buy zone. I mean, that is just God, trading is so easy. I mean, if this thing goes up, it's gonna be nice. I can show you guys right now that if this thing breaks this, like what to look out for if anybody got in this trade. If you want to see some magic, some magical things happen, look at where the seller. So pretty much the sellers are right here. I'll just show you. This is where they are. See that right there, guys? That's where sellers are. So this already shows me. I mean, this is a 15-minute chart though, so it doesn't hold as much weight as the bigger time frames do. But what this tells me is that sellers are getting weak because they've been broken right there. See how like every time the market pretty much got there, it dropped? That's what that shows me. So if I look at this, I've seen a qualified bottom. There's a qualified bottom down here. What is supposed to happen every time when price comes back off of a zone like this, or what it has been doing? Every time it's broken a high and retested it, it's went up. So guess what it just did? It broke a high, it retested. So for me, I'm like, okay, cool. That's my retest, that's my break, that's my trade. It doesn't have to go up. So you guys have to be out of your mind. You have to be connected. That's exactly why I made the password what I did, because I want every single time you guys, when you log into these elite webinars, to know you are one with the market, because it's about being connected, not attached. So you need to. I'm gonna make you guys remind yourself every single time when you log in that you are one with the market. So these kind of things that I give you, like these are simple things. Sellers break, retest goes up. Sellers break, retest. Okay, now we're gonna see if it goes up or not. We've got buyers there, buyers there. Here, this looks absolutely amazing for price to go up. I don't know if it will, but if it does, you guys are going to be like, damn, that's so like it makes so much sense. And if it doesn't, I don't want you to think that it's wrong, because there's buyer confirmations here, buyer confirmations here. There's buyer confirmations right there. Watch this. I'm going to pull the fib out. Look at this. I'm going to pull the fib out right here. Look at this. Right there. 50 fib. That's the 50 fib zone right there. Okay, I put my stop loss below 38.2. If you guys watch my videos, I always tell you to put stop losses below the previous fib, or below the lowest fib, not at the fib, below it. You can see this. This is the fib zone right here. This is the 50 fib. Look at this. There's the 61.8. There's the 50. Watch this. I'm going to pull this down to the previous one. I'm not going to pull up a marriage because it's beyond that. But look where this is right here. Price reversed off the 61, got really close to the 50 and reversed. Look at that. See that? So when you look at the duplication of what's going on with price over here, and you see this at this zone, it's very similar in synchronicity with the last move. These are things that I pay attention to. These are things that I look at. These are things that I watch. Like I said, it doesn't have to go up. No one said that it had to go up. It's just we have to be great listeners. So when we're great listeners, we have the opportunity to get paid. We have the opportunity to get money. That's the thing. That's what I pay attention to. I was up 5,000 when I got on. I'm up 3,000 right now. I'm not worried about the money though. It's about the skill. So when you see this, to see the thousands of dollars floating on your screen and to have these things happen, you can't get emotionally driven by your money. You just have to understand that all you're doing is you're listening to the market. When it tells you to buy, you buy. When it tells you to sell, you sell. When it tells you to put your stop loss down at this level right, you do it. When it hits your stop loss, you get it hit, you move on. You don't have to cuss out the markets. You don't have to think that it's out to get you or anything like that. I mean, you can do those things, and then eventually one day you'll probably drop it. You'll probably leave it alone. You'll probably quit doing it because it won't serve you anymore. Remember, this is a journey. This is a journey of yourself. And that's what it took me so long to figure out, that it's a journey of myself, that I have to learn to overcome myself. If I want to make the kind of money that I feel like I deserve to make, then I have to become the person that deserves to make that kind of money. And those are the same thing that's going to be for all you guys. Remember that. Anything else? Anything else? Any other questions from anybody?
Yeah, I got a quick question.
What up? What up? What up? What up with the question?
What's the
What strike you want?
largest stop loss and pips you would ever use? Or
What's the largest stop loss I'd usually use?
yeah, yeah,
Mm, depends on if I trade gold. I normally won't go like 50 is around the sweet spot. 30 to 40
mm,
to 50 pips is the sweet spot. Um, 50 is my usual, but the important question to ask yourself is what is the market telling me my stop loss needs to be? So for instance, when you look at USD, when you look at NZD so look at this. So here's where buyers are, here's where buyers are. So here's my current trade. So we pull this over, we're going to pull this down. Right where this white line is where the trade is where I would essentially get in at. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, so this says 32 pips right here. That means your stop loss is 32 pips. So if you look at this and you pull this like right here, do you see like how it says 10? See how it says 10?
yeah,
Okay. So let's zoom in on this. Let's look at this at this level. I want you to see this. Do you see how that wick hits that red right there? You see that?
yeah.
So this is not a good stop loss. That's a 10 pip stop loss. That's not a good stop loss. Even though your risk to reward is 9.5, you'd make 9, even though the market goes, that's not what you want. So watch this. What if I pulled it to, let's just say 15 pips? Does that wick hit that red line right there?
Nah,
No. So this would be an acceptable, this would be fine. But it's only because the market tells you, that's what it's telling me, that is a zone in which is a good stop loss. But I chose to do a little bit bigger of a stop loss just to give the market a little bit more room. I did a 25 pip stop loss actually. So
if
see
the
how
market's telling you to do like a 70 plus pip stop loss, would you do it?
if it yields me my 3 to 1 on the move.
That's all I need to know.
Yep. So
Yeah,
see,
all right,
it's got to yield me a 3 to 1. If it doesn't, then I'm not even gonna waste my time.
all
But
right, bet I got it.
yep. And so Rafael, so there's the trade here at the zone. That's acceptable for that position. I pull it up here, same level. That's acceptable because if it hits that line, that's acceptable trade. I'll pull it down a little bit. That's acceptable. So same thing here. When I see it, I look and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is my entry. Okay, price shows me that it doesn't go there. Price showed me from right here and right here, it went 3 to 1. So that's an acceptable trade for me. And then I would just take the trade. So see how it doesn't, as long as like when you're looking at the market and you're going to do a stop loss, if you look at it, like you don't even need to look at the number, just look at the red. Just look at the red and be like, okay, would the market hit my stop loss if I bought here and went there? No, definitely wouldn't, but that's not going to be a 3 to 1 trade. So we're obviously not going to do that. You look at it here, you do the same thing there. You see that and you're like, oh no, it doesn't hit it, but that's not a 3 to 1 trade. So you would look at that and say, okay, cool. So then you would look at this and be like, oh, okay, here's a 3 to 1 trade right here. So you could do 24.9 and that would be an okay trade. That's not a bad trade. Even if you were to buy like right around where price is at right now, this is very close to where price is at, and this would be a okay trade. It would be a 3 to 1. That would be fine. But you don't, it doesn't. If you look at the market and you see price, and it's showing you that you can do that, whatever stop loss you can do, don't focus so much on the distance of pips, first look at it with your eyes. Remember, I'm training your eyes to be Forex weapons. So when you look at it, look at the distance of price and say, oh, this fits. Then when you're putting the trade in your account, it's going to tell you, oh, 24 pips or 24.9 pips, or it's going to say 25 pips or whatever it's going to say. Or it'll say, 27.8 pips. Okay, plug in your stop loss where it says 27.8 pips of a stop loss. Make sure when you're trading, you're always doing 10% or less risk on your account. So you plug it in on your risk to reward calculator. You put your price in. So to do it live, so you can actually see it. When you're doing it, once you get your parameters of everything, you're gonna have your account size. It's gonna say $1,000. You're gonna come in and you're gonna say, okay, I want 10% risk, and you're gonna say, oh, okay, what did NZDJPY say? It said 27.8 pips. Okay, I'm gonna go look and I'm gonna put stop loss and pips 27.8 pips, and I'm going to click calculate, and it's gonna tell you you're going to lose $100 on the trade because that's what you're putting at risk. And your lots are going to be 0.36. And you're going to go plug that into your trading account. And that's how it works. Does that make sense? If you were to do that step by step.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make
Makes
sense,
good
though?
sense. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Got you. Easy money.
Yo,
Oh, yeah.
were you really trading 10% whenever you were trading with like smaller accounts?
Was I really trading 10% when I was trading smaller accounts?
Like if you had like I remember when you were talking about your account that you had 250 that you were trading with $250 in.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I started, yeah. Oh, I never sent those screenshots in the group, but yeah, 100%. Those were those trades. So it's a how I do it though is I don't just put in 500,000 random trades or anything like that. I'm trying to find them in my new phone. I don't just oh here they go. I don't just put in a whole bunch of random trades. So whenever I'm doing it, I'm not just randomly, like I said, putting in positions. I'm doing it strategically based upon like my account size and stuff. So whenever I am, taking trades, I'm looking at the market, and whenever the market tells me that it is a good buy zone, it is a good sell zone, or anything like that, I'm just listening to what it tells me, and then I look at it, I say, okay, let me go in and put this lot size in based upon my account size. And then once I see it, once the market has given me the proper area, to take the trade, all I do is I simply take the trade. So when you look at the screenshot that I just sent in the group, because I forgot to do this, you look at the trade. So that was at $250. Obviously, I lost some money on some other trades, but the first position that I put in on this account was actually a Bitcoin trade that I put in at $7,486. And then I risked a small percent on my account. And then so it's the first Bitcoin trade. And then once it started to go up, you see I bought it again at 7,800, right? But the actual next trade that I put in on that account was those USD JPY trades that you see down towards the middle, where I bought at 107.32 or sold at 107.322, 107.313, 107.314. Those right there, I put all of those in at the same time, but what I did was, since Bitcoin, the trade that I bought, was up 10+% of my account, I was able to move my trade to break even. But then what I did, so now I'm not risking 10% on my account anymore. So now that's a free trade. Now I got the equity cleared up. But then what I did was I risked part of my equity that I was up on the Bitcoin trade, but I was also up on another. I was in on another Bitcoin trade, but like I said, the next trade that I did was USD JPY, and I think I risked. It was like a 10. It was like a 10 or 15 pip stop loss. It was actually a trade that I gave out back when I was in IML. It was actually a sell that I actually gave out, and all those USD JPY trades were signals that I actually gave out. So, and then the next trade I ended up doing was Bitcoin. And the next trade I ended up doing was GBP AUD that is up $500. And then I just position stack. That's all I do. Like if this trade right here on NZD USD, if this trade goes up right here, like if this trade actually goes up for me, and say it comes all the way up here, I'll probably buy stop it up here because it's going to be at such a good level. So I'll buy stop it. So I'll have a trade in right here, and then I'll have a trade in up there. So it doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter the account size that you have, or like what your like the account size or anything like that. It matters about the risk that you put on those trades, because I did essentially the same exact thing on I think like a few weeks later. This is it right here. I just sent it in the group. That's the same account, the same thing that I was growing. This was it right here on Euro JPY and NZD JPY, USD JPY, and GBP JPY. Those are the same things that I did. So it doesn't really matter about the like account size. You just have to understand, like when you get in, it's just about listening to the market. That's honestly it. But yeah, no, those are proper risk. I just stack the positions. That's it. That's all I'm doing is I'm just
At,
positioning.
what account size would you recommend using standard lot sizes?
I mean, you could use it on like a $200 account, but I mean, if you can do a 2 pip stop loss, I mean, it's easier to do it on $1,000 and more because you're following proper risk. Like, say, let's see. So this is, let's see where this is at. This is, I'm just trying to see this right here. So say you were doing a stop loss, like I did it all the way out here just because I'm giving price more room to breathe. You look at this here. So if you were to buy right where price is at right now on NZD JPY, you pull it up to like right there, that's 16 pips. So that would probably be like a acceptable trade because it's below those wicks right there. It's still kind of close to the inside of this buying zone, but you could do a 16 pip stop loss on this pair. Like I said, I just did pretty much double that, but this is like a trade that you would be able to do that on because once it hits this line right here, it stays pretty solid above that line. Same thing over here. It hits it there. It gets close. Same thing over here. I mean, you can see that line right there, that zone right there, is a pretty solid line that it stays on. So if you had a $101,000 account, then you could do that. That would be an acceptable trade, or maybe it's $1,060 account or something. I'm not sure. I think it's 1,060, but that would be an acceptable trade. So this is a trade right here that, like I said, you look at this and you see this. It's just like what the market is showing you. But like this is one, like no matter what happens, I really really like this trade. I mean, this is solid. And if price decides to go down, then that's what it decides to do. So yeah, but no, those are just in, like I said, it doesn't matter. Like I'll show you all another one that is.
Have you ever revived like a really like an account that you almost blew? Like for an example, I had an account that was like I threw $100 in. I ended up like almost blowing the account. Ended up at like $7, and just for the hell of it, I was I still made some logical trades, but I brought the account from $7 to I think it was like 120 and stuff like that. And then I ended up messing it up. But
Nah, I mean, yeah, I've done that in the past, but I mean, I don't really trade like that anymore. I mean, it's not hard to do. It's just you can do it, and it's cool. Like it's a cool story and stuff. But if you just practice the proper, habits and practices, then you won't. It really won't matter. But and you wanna try to be like, okay, I'm going to trade proper risk. I'm gonna trade in the proper way, and not just be like, okay, let's see what I can take this account to, because that's our ego. Our ego saying like, oh, I got $7. Let's see if I can get it to 1,000. Let's see if I can get it to 10,000. And it's cool if you get it there, but see how you're still practicing the same habits that got you to a $7 blown account. It's like that's what I'm trying to get everybody out of. Is like, okay, it's a cool story. We want to post it on our social medias, flex on everybody. But it's going to be a much bigger flex if 5 years, 10 years down the road, you have multi millions of dollars and you literally go to sleep every single night and never stress about the markets, and you live a life where you don't stress about anything and you don't have to worry about doing those things. That's going to be a much bigger flex than taking $10 to 1,000 or $10,000 or something, because you're still most likely practicing the bad habits that got you to that account size, or to blow your account. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey
Lit.
Johnny, can we check AUD CAD, please?
Odd USD or odd CAD. Yep. What are you looking for on Audi Caddy?
I'm looking for a sell. I think it just switched trend right now, and I think it's gonna be a pretty good sell.
What time frames are you looking at?
I'm looking on the daily and the 4 hour and the hourly chart.
Okay, so on CAD, all right. Sellers are pretty much right here on AutoCAD. It's pretty close. I'd say right there is a pretty good sell zone. Yeah, pretty much right here. Seems like, yeah, this is a good zone. So yeah, you're up there on the monthly. You got some good. That's the sell zone right there. And then weekly. Yeah, that's a good zone. I'm just trying to see a couple things. Yeah, buyers are pretty much through here. So it looks like we got some time before it hits a buying zone. Daily, it's not really a diagonal daily zone, but there is a retest zone there. So that is where potential buyers can get back engaged at. There's not really any daily buyers until there, so that's pretty much the same exact line, so that doesn't really matter. Let's see if there's like a 4 hour zone. Looks like your buyers got engaged, were pretty much engaged through that line. This break and retest right here is pretty clear that buyers are now weak. So pretty much right here is your selling zone. Yeah, that looks like a good sell, bro. I don't know where you put your stop loss, but if you're looking at that most recent line right there, as you see, it doesn't come up and retest that zone. I mean, have you sold yet, or are you just looking at it?
I just sold it.
Okay, yeah, and so it looks like your stop loss. I mean, well, so here's the actual sell. This is the actual zone that you're looking at for a stop loss. But obviously, you're not going to sit here and hold your trade for 857,000 years. So I'm just saying this is like, that's 150 pip stop loss, which that's a really big stop loss. And to get the kind of numbers that we talk about, you're not going to be able to have that large of a stop loss. So that's like pretty much your stop loss there. But if you're looking at a smaller condensed view of it, which is what you're looking at, there's going to be a time. It's kind of like NZDJPY. I'm looking at a couple entries on NZDJPY. Like I see the one that it's got right now, and I know where the next available buy zone is. But kind of like this one, you pretty much know this is your sell zone here. 30 pip stop loss is much more feasible, but it doesn't necessarily go. It goes 2-to-1 off a 30 pip stop loss. So, and then you look at it over here, it does the same thing, goes 2-to-1. So that's a 30 pip stop loss. You could condense it down. Looks like 20 would also work, which gets you your ideal zone. But here's the thing, you sold it just then, around like an hour ago. And if it goes up and hits that line, is it going to hit your stop loss? It doesn't look like it will. So if it follows that 1 hour zone, but that's pretty much around a zone that you're going to want to pay attention to, is around that. And that gives you your 3-to-1. But a safer, it'd really, really be good if it came back up to and retested that line. So if it maybe hit your stop loss barely there, it would kind of be due to this point right here, like up in there. Let me try to get this a little better. It would be more due to this guy right there. So like where you kind of sold up in there, it would pretty much be due to that wick right there. So it might be good for a resell right there. You sold it there, and you might get a better trade. But that's just looking at this. This is a really good off the weekly, really good off the monthly and the weekly, really good off the daily. Looks like it is getting tired of going up, especially with this daily and 4-hour uptrend getting broken, and it getting broken here and pulling back over to there. It seems like it's getting at that level right there, and it's starting to come down. But that looks like a good trade. Definitely a good trade.
Awesome.
Hey, JDR.
Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, hey, you look at NZD CAD and explain. So NZD CAD, NZD JPY are like moving the same. Can you explain like which one? So they look the same. Like which trade to get in? Like instead of over trading, like if it's still following like a 3 punch rule on the daily and everything, looks good. What? You making fun?
I don't know if anybody else heard him like that slow down.
Yeah. Wait. You didn't hear anything I asked?
Yeah.
He was on that slow mo.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh shit.
Which one was better? It was just like that. But I heard it though.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard it for the most. It only did it in the very end. NZD CAD looks more. I'm just looking at this right here off the 4-hour. It looks more bearish. Daily. Daily. Daily looking pretty nice.
That's why I bought it, but like
But you got this right there of that zone.
Yeah, it broke the retest.
No, I didn't. It's there. It's right there.
I'm driving too, bro. So
reckless. I love it.
Would you say that was
That's a risk?
What, driving or the trade?
Driving and on the webinar, risky. I love it. That's like 30% risk right there.
Well, that's why I'm asking about these trades. I got these 2 trades in at 20%. So I want to know. I don't want NZD CAD because they're following. I don't want them to follow each other and then just But if it happens, that's just what the market does. But I didn't know what you do about pairs that look the exact same and they're moving the exact same. Which one do you get in if they have the same return?
Yeah, whichever one looks better. I mean, they're pretty close. I mean, I see NZD CAD. It could potentially go up right here, right there. I mean, it's like, what's your risk? It's like your risk and stop loss. Like, I look at this and I say, most likely you probably did like 40 pip stop loss on NZD CAD.
No, I did 30.
Woo! 30. 30's dirty. You did a dirty 30. You did a little dirt 30. A little dirty 30. So
And that's why I'm wondering. I should not got so greedy and done a bigger stop loss.
oh, you're a little greedy bastard, boy. You're a little
Gold pissed me off today, bro.
I'm sorry, man. I don't mean
It's your fault.
It's my fault. I know everything's my fault. Let's see, 30 pips. You did it off the daily zone?
I saw the trade off the daily. I entered off the hour. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm just looking at something. Off this line. You entered off the hourly. Where'd you enter? Like 915?
Let me look. I'm about to make me have a rig.
Oh, whoa there.
You said where? 951.
916.
I got in like 9. I got in like 916. I got in
6. I mean, it's looks like it's 916. Yeah, your stop loss is below that daily zone, so, and it's below these wicks right here. As long as it's below those wicks right there, and below this trend line right there, which is the daily zone, right there, then should be pretty good. It's pretty, I mean, but NZD/JPY is much better of a buy because it's just, it doesn't have,
you got more confirmation.
Yeah, it hasn't broken the 4-hour zone. See how this one hasn't broken the 4-hour zone yet?
Yeah.
Hasn't broken it. So it's a really good zone, and it has a really clear bottom to it. Really, really clear bottom. And for whatever reason, the yen, I know the yen is weak because if USD/JPY keeps going up like it does, I know the yen is weak because the USD is weak. And UJ is getting very close to, I don't know why my stop loss or that right there. UJ is starting to get really close to my sell zone that I had for it. So I think I still got my alert in, but for whatever reason, the yen is really weak and it's going up, and the NZD is still strong. So, I'm just trusting more of the JPY to stay weak. So that's why I traded NZD/JPY because it just looks much better to me of a trade.
Do you think the NZD CADs? Do you think it's still an okay trade though? Just obviously with your account, your NZD/JPY is a better trade. Do you think NZD CAD still?
Yeah, I think it's a good trade. I mean, remember, you got 10% open on one trade and 10% on another, and 20% loss is never fun. But a 60% gain to a 40% gain is always sounds great.
Yeah.
So that's what
Just,
I mean.
that didn't give.
I mean, you losing 20%, that's a pretty hefty loss on one trade, and then it could go your way. You could go to break even. You have a risk-free trade, but for me personally, I don't trade to 10% moves at once. So I would just trade one, and then if there's a better setup and there's another trade, then I'll take another one. But NZD looks much better on the eye. NZD/JPY looks much better on the eyes than NZD CAD, and then you also have to realize you have to take into consideration that both of those trades are at risk to lose 10%.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Hey, I have a question.
What's up?
Well, actually, I'll say, can you look at Euro NZD? I'm not in it at all. I just was going through my lines, my past lines, and I see it's underneath the support, and it looks like it's retesting. So I was thinking maybe, wait, hold on. Yeah, I was saying maybe we can get in for the sell when it sets up.
That one,
Yeah.
that weekly line, yeah, that looks good. It's looking like it's trying to, yeah, it's in an interesting spot. Yeah. Let's see. Sellers are pretty much right there.
I have that same exact line you just drew.
Yeah, that's pretty much where sellers are. Yeah, this is a interesting zone. Oh, what is that, the hourly? Yeah, I'm not really gonna draw too much support there. Yeah, it's at a good little level. It's at a good little level right there. It's also a little off the 4 hour, trying to go up, but I would say, yeah, I was gonna see this right here. I would say this zone is gonna be key to watch. I think if it builds up a little bit more consolidation, you'll really be able to tell. It's just not super clear right now. And I mean, I'd be so damn particular about everything that I do in trading. That's just me. But I mean, if you sold it here and you maybe put a stop loss inside there, that's going to be a 100 pip stop loss. But the thing is, the setup is trying to happen off of this move right here. It just, to me though, I wouldn't trade. That's just me. I mean, it's literally no different than the trade that I told you guys that I talked about gold when Tyler pointed out selling gold or sell stop in gold. I just personally wouldn't do it. I mean, this thing could drop or whatever and have a big drop, but like me personally, that just doesn't look that good to me. And if it does drop, then it does. But
I see that W on the bottom too. So it's like finding out where it likes to be, and who knows, it could shoot up from there.
yeah, it could. I don't know if it will. I have no definite answer for anything that ever goes on in the market. To me, it doesn't look good on the eye. So to me, I wouldn't take a trade. It's only if I see a clear zone. I don't just see a good zone to put a stop loss in. So I can't really judge a play.
Yeah, I see.
You know what I'm saying? I can't really judge like a good spot. Like if it was underneath this line right here constantly and hooking under, that would give me a more clear stop loss. You know that, but it just hasn't given me that. So I wouldn't mess with it. That's me though. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm not like when
I'm not touching it. I just saw it.
Play stuff. I'm just saying me. I wouldn't do that, but you know, it was great that gold had that big drop, and I said the same thing that I've always said. That's just me. You know, I personally wouldn't take the trade, and then gold fell 600 pips. So, and Euro USD is finally making the move now. So, anything can happen at any time. That's why I tell you guys at any given time. But yeah, that's just me. Anybody else have any other questions? See? No? See? No? No? See? So y'all are telling me you're good. So you're telling me if I got off the webinar right now and I ended the recording right now, y'all are good. That's what I'm hearing.
Just for last, can we check GJ, please?
No!
Por favor.
What is up with you and GJ? You love this pair.
Hey, I love GJ too.
And that's my favorite pair.
Y'all be on this GJ and this thing still look terrible. I'm looking at this thing still ain't changed in about since we looked at this in December. This thing still look ugly to me. I mean, it looked like it might want to go up though. Whatever is going on, it is fighting its whole heart out to go up. I'll tell you that, because it broke this zone right here. It broke that selling zone there, broke that monthly zone there. I just know what all these lines are, so I'm just looking at it, and it's fighting. Yep, and it went down, 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 and then it's starting to have this break. Here, look. This is the first time that I have seen this pair and said, this is a good pair right here. This is one that might have to go on and get a little tapped, little love tap on it, little smack on it. There's your sellers right there, and there's your buy stop, Jorge. There is your zone, my friend, and you might be able to put the buy stop in, and price go boom, 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 all the way up. You might be able to do this. I'm looking at it, bro. I'm telling you, it's the buy stop. There's the sellers right there, bro. There they go. There they at right there, boy. And then you put that buy stop in right there, boy. About that right there, boy. About that right there. Put that thing right about right there, boy. Put that style about right there, boy. Put that thing about right there, boy. Right about right in there, boy. And then there's your move right there, bro. I know you've been licking at your chops to trade some GJ. And that looks like the move right there. That looks like it might do something right there. That, and yeah, and yep, and it goes all the way back to right here. So that is looking like a juicy juice. I might even put a buy stop in. I like it so much. JDR might go ahead and throw a little something on that some of my bitch. You know what I'm saying? I might have to go and throw a little
He said 10 lots.
I might have to throw a little thing out there real quick. I like it though. It looks good.
All right.
That's a good.
All right.
Yeah, all right, my friend. Okay, buddy. I like this. I very much like this. Very much, my friend. Very much, I like this, my friend. Mucho. I love. But yeah, this is the one right here. This is the best zone right there. Good little sell zone. Nice little buy stop, and it looks like it can go and have a little Jesus. Is what it looks like. I like it though. Anybody else got anything, or are we good? Are we bueno? Because if we're bueno, I'm about to eat my food again. You know, we got to get these gains out here. I'm trying to get thick.
We're good.
Good. Everybody chilling. Okay. We chilling. Okay, Dejan, you got on. I'm glad to see you got on, my friend. I'm glad to see you seen the password. Everybody
Yes,
know.
sir.
Are they one with the market? Are we one with the market? Yes, and the market is one with me. We are one with the market, and the market is one with me.
I got one quick question. No charts, but when you look at charts, like as in, I see FXCM. Does it really matter which one you pick? Like,
nah, they're all pretty much.
I feel like it's a stupid question.
Nah, yeah, they're all pretty much the same. They don't really differentiate too much. They all pretty much look the same, honestly. Not too much of a difference at all. But all right, y'all. DYO. Yeah, I don't know if that's Ricky Martin or if that is Alvaro Nemapobrota Simio. I just be saying shit. But all right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna see you guys on Thursday. You know, I'm gonna try to keep up with the 97,000 messages that go off in that one group chat. That's why I had to make sure I made one that is only a signals one. But I'm gonna go. I actually haven't read everything today, but I'm gonna go through and look at them. But all right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a great night. I'm gonna see you guys on Thursday. Y'all have a good one. JDR is about to hop off this goddamn thing, and y'all have a real nice night tonight. Okay.
All right, peace, brother.
Yeah, we're out
Take
this
care, bro.
motherfucker. Y'all have a good one now.
Take care, everyone.
Y'all have you a great night. Talk to y'all
Audio.
later.
You darn tootin'.
Yeah, we're done.